Hello, stranger. How are you today? We're at week 5 of our Healing and Boundaries series. If you have missed the other parts of this series, then I will put a link to all the videos in the description box. I've been quite enjoying actually to make these videos because it's kind of represents a most vulnerable and authentic part of me, something that I am also learning on a daily basis, reminding myself of my boundaries. I got a cup of tea here. Grab something warm to drink and let's begin our session. One of the things that happens so naturally when we set boundaries is that we grow apart from certain people in our lives. That part in the beginning feels a bit difficult and heavy and heartbreaking. And when we feel that heaviness, we often make the mistake of trying to change the other person, trying to convince them, helping them to see things from our point of view. And as if they approve of our boundaries, then we feel safe to set them. But if they somehow get angry and threaten us and threaten the relationship, the dynamic between us and them, then we start to doubt whether or not we're doing the right thing here. Maybe we should have just stayed quiet. Maybe we should have never set that boundary and just keep living as that small person, just so that we can keep this toxic thing going, right? I hear you. I've been there. God knows I've been there. I kept toxic people in my life over and over again, only to learn that my job was never to change them. And it is actually quite natural in life that we grow apart. Those people are in your life for a reason. They are there to show you the fact that you haven't been taking good care of yourself. They are there to show you, mirror you back the way you have been treating yourself. Because once you feel like there's something wrong in this dynamic, this person is not respecting me, I don't feel safe, I don't feel heard or seen in this relationship. When you start to feel like that, that's actually the sign that they're mirroring you back the way you are treating yourself. Once you get that lesson, that person's purpose is fulfilled when you understand the fact that they were only there to mirror back the way you have been treating yourself. I know that I'm repeating certain words here. It's with purpose. Highlight their importance. And once we learn that lesson, once we start to treat ourselves with respect and dignity, we start to see that this person's job is done. It's okay to let them go, because the job was never about changing them. Sometimes we take in certain people into our lives as a project, that our job is somehow just fix them, mold them into shape so that they can eventually fit into our expectations. We see potential. Some people like to say, I see the potential in this relationship. But no, sweetheart, you don't. It's not your job to change the other person. Settling for a potential is self-damaging. You don't see a potential. What you are seeing here is the ways of getting to know yourself, healing yourself, eventually graduating from these toxic dynamics. Stop bonding with people because you feel like they are somehow going to save you or make you feel whole, or the things that you cannot give to yourself. Romanticizing a relationship, thinking that it's there to make us feel somehow special. Whenever we feel like we need a dynamic because we want to feel special or loved or feel complete, that is a huge sign that we're missing the point there. Relationship is there to serve us, to help heal our sense of unworthiness, sense of incompleteness. I'm not here to say to you to use other people. I'm not here saying to take advantage of them. Instead, lean to that natural process, natural evolution of your relationship. Instead of trying to fix when something feels wrong, turn inward. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? What is this achy feeling inside of me? How do I feel? Do I feel safe? Do I feel accepted? If not, why? Where am I failing myself? What boundaries am I not setting? Am I saying yes to the things that I actually wanted to say no to? And eventually, it takes courage to follow that natural flow of that dynamic, even if it leads to breakup. Because that ought to happen one way or the other. You can endure 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 20 year, 30 year. That's when most people just end up getting divorced or break up, because they can no longer pretend that they're okay. In the beginning, the fear holds you together. The fear encourages you to compromise. But then eventually you will see that you cannot be that person anymore. You just have to learn and accept the fact that it's so natural in life that we grow apart from certain people, and that will create space for a new person to come into your life, to bond with you in a new way. And this creates an opportunity for you to practice being the new version of yourself. That is the best thing ever. So, are you getting this? Can you sit with that fear of losing people because you set boundaries with them? Instead of trying to fix that feeling, trying to fix the other person, trying to over-explaining yourself, just drop all of that. And just take a breath to sit here with your fear. To realizing that this is a very natural part of life. We're okay. Those people have to go. And like I said in the very beginning of this series, sometimes there are certain dynamics that we want to keep. Such as the relationship with our parents, a sibling, or a child. But again, we want to be gentle with them. We're not there to change them. We're not there to convince them or somehow make them approve of our boundaries. No. Once I understood that my boundaries are for me, I feel good about myself because I have that now anchor. I feel grounded. I know who I am. I know where I stand in life. And these values will change over time as I grow older. It's very natural. But as of today, I know who I am and I know where I stand. And I communicate with my parents, with my child from this part of me. Letting them know that I'm no longer that scared child or that insecure woman. I know my place in the world. I know what I can do. I know what I can offer. I know my values. And you don't have to agree with me. But this is where I stand. You can do whatever you want with this information, but I'm not here to argue. We can just agree to disagree. And sometimes, yes, some people do like to try to convert us into their ideology. They try too hard. They want you to see their point of view. And you can just respectfully refuse that. And let them know that how would you feel if I try to convince you into my point of view? Would you like to be forced into believing something that you don't believe? I've asked this question once to my mom because we were having this conversation, really deep conversation, and she was trying to force her opinion on me. And I asked her this question: how would she feel if somebody else tried to force their opinion onto her? That was an awakening moment for my mom, I think. She just sat there quietly. She said, I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't want anybody to force me to believe in something that I don't believe in. I said, there you go. So there are gentle ways to approach. We don't always have to argue or walk out of the room with anger and storming. And there are certain people we have to let go. I mean, you do agree with me on this. Friends don't last forever. I don't believe in that crap anymore. relationships, romantic relationships, they don't last forever. People come, people go out from your life. Sometimes even children and parents cut out the ties because they just cannot get along. Just too much drama. And we don't blame them. But we can try. And I'm happy that I tried and that it worked out. But if your situation, if there are too much drama, I encourage you to protect your peace. You're not there to argue or force your boundaries onto other people. It's okay to grow apart. It's okay. I just want to ensure you that one more time. It's okay. How are you feeling now? Does it feel scary to practice this? Do you want to try one more time to convince that person? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to other people. They're allowed to hold on to whatever they believe in. Just like you are allowed to hold on to your values. Eventually, we have to understand that relationships does not work unless both parts feels like they have their own separate path in life. Just because you are with someone doesn't mean that your path has to merge into one. That is codependency in practice. So you have to remember, dear friend, that it's okay to grow apart. It's okay to let go. It's okay for you to stand with your boundaries. On the other side of that fear is your freedom, is your autonomy, is your self-respect, and a chance to live with dignity. I want you to remember that. Write that down somewhere so that you can see it every day, to remind yourself that on the other side of that fear is my chance to live with dignity and self-respect. So it's okay for now to feel that fear. It's okay to sit with it. It's not dangerous. Not dangerous. If you want, take out your notebook, write down whatever came up during this session. Or just simply sit here with your cup of tea and contemplate in silence. And I will see you next Monday. Take care.